And you had a parda going down the road vertically, not that way. So the saf used to have men and women in the same saf. Yeah? Men and women used to be standing in the same saf in Trinidad for donkey years. And if the first row of the men had to go back a little bit, you had to tell the woman at the side to go back one step. You're shaking your head now. You recognize that we used to pray with men and women in the same row, with a parda in between. Yeah? That is the extent of the abandonment of the sunnah. And when you try to bring back the sunnah, you meet all kind of opposition. But inshallah, when we build the Muslim village, and we build the masjid in the Muslim village, there will be no parda between the men and women. He said that when you go down in sajda, and the Imam says Allahu Akbar to come up from sajda, the women must keep their heads down for some time to allow the men to sit up, and then the women must raise their head. Did he not say that? Well, where is the need for that if you put them upstairs, or you put them in an annex, or you put them behind some partition? Truly, the religion is gone, and all that remains now is the shell. Everything is changing today. Our food is changing today. Allah provided food for us, the great engineer. And He gave to the food a genetic composition, that the food will not only provide nutrition, the food will also function medicinally. Food has other things to do. It is the food that you eat, that will affect the semen that a man produces. He said that the time will come when one man will have to maintain how many women? Somebody help me? 50 women. One man will have to maintain 50 women. That's coming up. What that implies is that there's going to be a dramatic decline in baby boys being born. That has already started in some parts of the world. Singapore, for example. I have visited Singapore so many times. I have so many students in Singapore. But the enormous number of girls and women who approach me and my wife, Maulana, can you help me? I want to get married. Can you help me? I want to get married. Can't get a husband. You have faced that situation here in Trinidad yet, you know. You should go to Singapore and see it. The proportion of women to men is now so great that it's a problem out there. What is it that's going to cause this alarming decline in baby boys being born? I believe that it will be something connected with the food that we eat that will affect sperm production. I believe that when you change the genetic composition of food, you alter that capacity of food to do other things besides provide nutrition. And that is what we're doing today, eating the genetically modified food. Finally, because I do not want to continue indefinitely, finally, we have followed the Jews and Christians in the most disastrous of all, down into the lizard's hole. The Prophet ﷺ warned of an age that will come. He said, when time will move swiftly, a whole year will pass like a month, and a month like a week, and a week like a day, etc. And then when he was asked, why will there be this perception of time moving faster and faster? And his reply was that instead of the zikr of Allah being in the heart, the dunya will be in the heart. When the dunya takes control of the heart, then we believe that this is the only world. We live for this world. We do not recognize any reality beyond this world. That's called materialism. That materialism has today come to the world from the Christians and the Jews. And it has swept all of mankind, illa masha'Allah. What is the price that we pay when we embrace materialism? When we forget Allah and the dunya takes control of the heart. When the fear of Allah no longer resides in the heart. You're afraid the policeman, but you're afraid of Allah. I'll tell you what is the price that we'll pay. The heart becomes dead. The heart can no longer see. It can no longer hear. It can no longer understand. Knowledge now comes from only external sources. Knowledge does not come from internal sources. What is the price that we pay if we have eyes but we can't see? What is the price that we pay if we have ears but we can't hear? If we have hearts that we can't understand? Let me point out this price and we'll now end. The Prophet ﷺ spoke of an age that will come. It should be the age of Dajjal. Dajjal has a PhD in deception. He comes with two things, a river and a fire. But his river is a fire. And his fire is the cool waters of a river. And so appearance and reality are opposite to each other whenever Dajjal attacks. Appearance and reality are opposite to each other. Things are not what they appear to be when Dajjal attacks. And so if you see with only your external eye, you're going to be deceived. You will think that you're walking on the road to heaven, when in fact you're walking to hell. And you would think, but that is the road to hell, me ain't going on that road at all. When in fact that is the road to heaven. This is the state of the Christian Jewish world today. Internal blindness. All going on the road to the hellfire. An essentially godless world they are. And guess where we are? We're following them. Hook, line and sinker, we're following them. We're just as blind as they are. This is the confirmation that we're down in the lizard's hole with them. This is the biggest of all tragedies. Because when the man deaf, dumb and blind, you could talk to him, it ain't make no sense. He ain't going to listen to you, he can't even understand. And so we end today by pointing out that the birth anniversary of the Prophet ﷺ is a time when we celebrate with singing in praise of him. But on this occasion we should recognize that the whole house is on fire. So rather than take a bucket of paint and